This next knot is the one that many people consider to be the hardest, and basically you're going to take your backing here, which is pretty small, and you're going to connect it to your fly line, which is relatively large. This is probably about 5-weight fly line. Now if you just made an overhand knot, it wouldn't do you any good because you'd end up with a really large knot that wouldn't want to slide through the guides and would be problematic. You need to make one that's going to be smooth, and the best way to do that is to create a nail knot. Now for a nail knot, you're actually going to need to make a little tool here. You can use a bobbin threader, which comes with a lot of fly tying kits, or you can just use a loop of relatively thick monofilament. I find this to be a little easier because it's pretty slippery, doesn't tend to bind as much. Now in order to do this, you're going to want to start with the fly line in your left hand if you're right-handed. So take your fly line, put it in your left hand, take your loop, place it in your left hand and pinch them together so they both go the same direction. The idea here is that you're eventually going to have to pull that way, so you need the loop to be going this way or you won't be able to pull the right direction. Then take your backing, and in this case you're just going to go ahead and pull off about 4 inches or so and pinch about halfway back. Place the 4-inch pinch right there in your left hand and go ahead and pinch them all together at once. That's going to leave a tag of backing here which is dropping down. And what you're going to do is you're going to actually wrap that tag over the top. 1, pinch, 2, pinch, 3, 4, and 5 times. And it really helps to keep these things stacked up correctly. So if you can see, I've made sure those wraps are actually in line and I'm not wrapping them over themselves. Now on your 5th time, and 5 is usually the magic number, you can go ahead and pull this tag up and around and get this loop where you can pass the tag through the loop. In order to pass the tag through the loop, you might need to kind of tweak it a little bit here, but just get it to where you can get that tag through, pull the tag down. Okay, now you got everything pinched, and you're going to start to work from the back of this loop. You may actually want to transfer the pinch to the right hand at this point. So go back here to where your loop or your tag of monofilament sticks out and begin to pull. Now what this is going to do is actually going to pull the tag end through the loops you made and out to the other side. But as you can see, you've got this little loop at the rear of what would be your running line. So it makes a little sense sometimes to go ahead and tighten that up just so you have a nice even thing to pull against. Once you've got it in position, still maintaining the pinch, go ahead and pull with the monofilament to slide the tag all the way through. And when you release the pinch, if you did everything right, it all ought to be pretty well stacked up. If it's just a little bit loose like it is here, just tighten it up. And then to set it, just pull tightly on both ends of the backing, and then to really get it to bite, pull on the line and the backing at the same time. Okay, at this point, you've got a nice, even, straight connection, and all you need to do is trim up very tightly against both knots. Now, the easiest way, obviously, to trim these up is going to be with tying scissors, if you've got some that are fairly sharp. So go ahead and pull it up. I like to tie it, or I like to cut it on a slight bias here so that as it slides through the guides, it'll have an angle to pull against. And then obviously you're going to want to do the same thing on the other side, so turn that over. This one can be a little tricky because backing likes to fray, especially waxed backing. So it might help to go ahead and get a hold of the backing and kind of draw it over the scissors so you get a really nice tight fit. Ooh, I need some sharper scissors, don't I? Okay, at this point, you're done. This knot is connected. It's tight, and it's pretty strong. Basically, this knot is about as strong as the coating of the line is bonded to the line itself. Now, that's not as strong as the break strength of the line, but I mean, hey, people land tarpon on it, so you know it's got to be okay. All right.